The first thing he goes is that he's like, your name has been popping up all over Disney. All of these executives are emailing me and been like, have you heard of this girl?
I have to be honest with you, I'm not a huge fan of the word networking. I don't like it because it feels smarmy. It sort of just has this weird connotation to it. So I don't like it, and I'm not surprised that people don't like it either. It feels like this thing where it's sort of this taking relationship that doesn't feel good, which is why I love the process of the book to actually teach people how to engage differently. I'm a big fan of Adam Grant and his concept of generosity, this give and take mentality. And what I love working with these authors is the ability to sort of interview people, dozens and dozens of them, in a way that positions them as peers, as equals, as givers. And so maybe we haven't taught people how to sort of network better, but what we have done is help people build a real authentic network through this process of creating their book. And that's what's amazing to see, is that many of these authors are surprised at the people they meet and the people that they're able to get access to can help them change it all as they go forward in their adventures.
I was at dinner the other night with a former Imagineer of 20 years, and the first thing that he did when we sat down, he works with my dad now in Galaxy Macau, and we were sitting down, and the first thing he goes is that he's like, your name has been popping up all over Disney. All of these executives are emailing me and been like, have you heard of this girl? She has written this book and she's contacted me and she's wanted to do interviews with me and all of this stuff. And he was like, yeah, like I was her first interview and it was so fun. And hearing that my name was like floating around the industry felt really, really cool. I felt like a micro celebrity in that world.
I think honestly it's been the people that I've talked to, because I've been able to talk to so many people, so many creative people, and learn about their processes and their motivations, and everything is so varied, and to see how people work through creativity and how they implement it in their lives. I talked to a chef in DC named Tim Ma, and he has a couple of restaurants here in DC, and his process was very interesting because he didn't set out to be a chef, he set out to be a business owner.
Really?
And so that's how he got into the restaurant industry, and then he kind of developed his creativity once he had like set up the business.
I have a phone call, a Skype phone call next Tuesday with the director of the My Brother's Keeper Alliance.
Really?
Yeah, Michael Smith. And so hopefully something can come out of that, but that's been one of the coolest things for sure. And I've had like a lot of close calls with almost meeting famous people. Like I was supposed to interview Hill Harper, and I was like, yo, Hill Harper, oh, I had him on the phone, and his secretary was like, oh, he got caught up, and like we never rescheduled. But it's like a lot of close calls, and I don't know. And I think the coolest thing overall though has definitely been the immense amount of support and love from everyone who's just kind of seen my journey up until this point, who can't wait to buy a copy.
I thought it was pretty cool to have Katie Miley get back to me with a quote for this book. I think reaching out for those marketing quotes, it was definitely awesome to have people respond to me, even have Adam Grant reply to me personally and say, I'm too busy. I mean, I still took it as half a win, so it was better than nothing. But I think Katie Miley, Cal Newport, just people who ended up providing marketing quotes for the book, they're definitely people who I knew were loosely affiliated with Georgetown, but didn't really think they'd respond, didn't think they'd read my stuff, didn't think they'd get back to me. And it was pretty awesome to have Miley in particular respond with such a nice quote, just because it was unexpected. It was really nice. Yeah.
So many cool things. Like I didn't even know that Eve Paul existed before I wrote this book, and she is a self-proclaimed millennial food consultant. So she started her own company and works with huge food companies like Nestle to consult for them. But also, so I think in one word, it's the people I've gotten to talk to, but another huge person was Emily Lucchetti, who has chaired the James Beard Foundation. She's an award-winning pastry chef. She's like been on TV shows, she's authored 4 cookbooks, and she read my book and chatted with me about it multiple times. So that was huge. It was like this big food idol was suddenly giving me feedback on my book, which was awesome.
I recently reached out to the CEO and president of Athletes to Careers, which is a consulting firm for former college athletes who are looking to take that next step into the workplace. And he was like, oh my gosh, like he was like fascinated that I had actually like written something that is what his business model is. So he was like, I've taken so many years to like put this company together and like I've built it from the ground up, but you've like put all of the stuff that we teach our employees into like a written format. So it's really cool to like hear like that stuff from people.
In the process of writing this book, I had my brother help edit some pieces, and he was like, wow, I didn't know you would be at all capable of this. Was just very blown away, and like, yeah, older brother, so.